So
boy.
I will use my Talkadot, take that share it immediately after my speech, because they're still in the venue. And if they have sponsors, they take that link and show it on their phone to their sponsors, because it's immediate ROI. And I don't know if John Register is here, but John Register and your Talkadot, John Register did a video the other day, just on, I think, on Monday or Tuesday, that he showed how he used Talkadot and AI to write a testimonial bio. That was brilliant. And I used it with mine. You copy everything and all the testimonial that comes in, you put it in the AI GPT, and you write a testimonial, use my bio, and bada boom, comes this. Picking just recently spoke, and 36% of this, and we got 86 referrals. And I mean, the stats were right there, and the quotes embedded in the bio. Brilliant.
You just blew my mind, by the way. I just want to acknowledge, like, my brain is leaking out of my ear right now because it's blown, and that's brilliant. That's actually super brilliant. That's super brilliant. That's
and I want to add something, Arel.
Yes.
I used it for, this is Diane DeResta. I used it for the first time. It was easy. It was great. But I really want to give a testimonial to Mike Mays, because he got on the phone with me and helped me through it. I was so impressed, because I don't expect service from a tech company. And this tech company has surpassed customer service of any other company in your space. So thank you. I can't wait to use it again. It's fabulous. And I do have a question about it. Maybe you can answer it later.
Yeah, we will do. And I will say, I think I want to also acknowledge, you said thank you to me, but it is Pokin right here, whose name is Talkadot, and Mike Mays over here. The team that we have is just, I could not be more impressed with the skill set they have. And I just constantly am just dragging behind their skill set, just going into the promised land behind these guys. So I'm super excited that you say that, because it really is important to us to stay as connected to you as possibly, to help you as much as we possibly can, to do things like this. So it warms my heart when you say that. So I just want to say just really thank you for that. It's a really great compliment. Like, thank you. Thank you.
Arel, and I just want to say to Mike Myers and you also include in Talkadot, I don't know if all of you have used it, but if you go into, Mike sends you an email after you do a presentation, and he shares how to use your results to get more results. And one of the things that you did, and I love it, I mean, I just sent it to my team to import it into our business, is he has a series of emails already written that once you see who you download your CSV of all the people that have said they have a lead, he has a series, I think, of 6 follow-up emails based on the Talkadot. It's done. It's written. There's nothing else you need to do. I was wondering, what am I going to do with this? And then I saw this, and bam! Just know it's already there. And Arel, your video that taught where to place it in your slide, and then how to introduce it in your presentation was on point and brilliant. So I'm just letting everybody know there's nothing, if you haven't accessed everything that's available that they're doing, it's really well done. So thank you, Mike, and thank you, Arel, and thank you, Mike's, whoever that was. I'm looking behind my plexicon to see who's there, but I appreciate you. That's why I'm here.
No, and that's one of the things that we love to do these sessions with, because we want to hear what's working, what's not working. And honestly, there's a lot of staring at screens that we all do. So to see humans and talking nicely, it's very wonderful. It feels good. And we spoke with Tracy today, Stuckrath, who Pegeen. Do you know Tracy ring a bell? She's part of a program.
Yeah, Tracy. Yeah.
So we onboarded her today, and we got her all set up, and she spoke very highly of you. So just letting you know that as well, which is
I'm just talking about you a lot. I think that I talk about it in my groups, and I think it's a high value. Let me tell you, high value, low cost. No, none of these people know that I was doing this, right? None of these people even knew that I was going to be on. But this is what I uploaded to the Pro, which is what $300 some odd. And I got to tell you something. One, gig, first off, one media placement that comes out of that testimonial letter, because we're using it as a press release, is worth gold. Two, one lead that I get from it is worth gold. There's John Register. And so Allison, you were asking, how did John do it? John was the man that did that video. John, thank you so much. That video that you did about how to use AI and Talkadot was brilliant. So can you just explain to Allison what you taught us?
Yeah, sorry, I'm just jumping in. I apologize. Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me?
Luckily, John, you're a professional
Okay.
speaker, so you're used to being thrown into the fire without preparation.
That's right. Let me get my notes over here. Let me go to AI and put it all in.
Yeah.
One of the things I think is brilliant about Talkadot is that what Arel's put together and what we have seen is the survey results. So what I've been doing with the AI is asking and feeding the questions into it that I want for an outcome that I would normally have put together. So what I've done is I copy the entire page and then I click on it, save it, and I throw it into the chat box, GPT, and I'll ask the question, why is John Register the best speaker for XYZ industry? And with the Talkadot results there, and I ask it to include some quotes that are in there, it writes the entire thing for me. So now I can take that, push it forward to a conference professional, or I can take it and I can send the results back to the conference meeting professional. I can take it and put it up on LinkedIn. I can write it as a tweet. I can write it as a Facebook post. And the AI does all of that for me. Because things I would normally have done myself, it just cuts it down. And where it does mess up a little bit, I just make it more personalized. So I've been doing that now. I think I've done it at least twice with the results that I've been getting back from the Talkadot slide. I don't know. So Pegeen, yeah. So it's in the. I think I put it in BNSA. So if you want to see the video,
I just put it in. I just copied. I'm shamelessly promoting you, and I just put it into the chat, and I shared it on my groups because it was brilliant how you taught us. And
okay, so I'm gonna tell you why this blew my mind, because this is something that I didn't even think about doing, that I'm gonna start doing. Right. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take my testimonials, and I'm gonna throw them into Chat GPT, and I'm gonna say things like, what are the most common things people are saying that they like about my presentation? What's the main, and I'm gonna I didn't even think about leveraging Chat GPT to turn this into a super powerful, super good stuff there. That's really, and then turning it into a press, think about it, you just did a talk, hey, turn all of these testimonials into a press release on the impact of my presentation based on the audience. And then ChatGPT will write a press release, pull quotes, and then you could provide that to your host so that that's golly, that's really smart, man. That's really, really, it's just, I'm still thinking about it. That's really good. Right. So Allison put, based on these testimonials, why is John Register the best speaker for the financial services industry? So you could paste that in, and then, that's just, damn it, that's really good.
And I want to jump in for a second, because we all know what we do. The hardest part is the simple aspect of saying, well, how could this work in the supply chain industry? How could this work in consumer packaged goods? And that's something that you could throw it into Chat GPT, and you can easily tweak it and update it, but you're not asking it to do math, and you're not asking it something that's going to be perhaps factually inaccurate. So it's really just kickstarting your thought process with the linkage that would be hard for you to do. And then you could just take it and run with it based on your expertise. So this was worth the price of admission. I could take my $400 and go. Thank you.
Yo,
thanks. Thanks.
All right, so this is my challenge. All right, I am issuing a challenge to everyone listening to me right now. I want you, and honestly, it's blowing my mind. I want you to think of what ways could you use Chat GPT and Talkadot that maybe we could all benefit from, right? So press releases, content, how to apply what I'm saying to others, integrating it into sales emails. I think it'd be really fun to think about what are all the ways we can use this data and leverage it and spin it, man, it's just, I feel like I
So-
might as well. We're gonna end it right here. There's nothing else to say. The microphone's been dropped. We got a few things to say, but the microphone's been dropped. That's worth the price of admission for me. And
Well, I think that over time, so one of the good things about GPT, just keep on, every time you do a testimony, every time you have one of these, you just put it into your GPT because it's remembering. It's taking this content all the time. And then you can have, I mean, I've done a tremendous amount of government contracting and, corporate things, they want proof. They want proof. So when you could start putting in your Talkadot results, you could say, what's the proof that Peggy actually creates results? And it'll look at the statistics that you're posting in and say, we can get statistics, after 25 speeches, we guarantee that Peggy has 98% satisfaction over the course of a year of results-driven success. That data is powerful data. And in a world where other people are going to be using AI, but not using it very general, if you can say, I have proof that this has occurred and this is this number, that's priceless.
yeah, no,
Yeah, so I was gonna jump in. One of the things, Pharrell, is thanks, Begin, and thanks. Allison put something really great in the chat. I just saw. So once you do a presentation, and you may have to just correct me because I'm just not as versed in Talkadot as of course you are. So just because it does the segment, so I have a speech, I do the speech, and it has aggregate of information at the top. Is there a way to summarize all the speeches, all the talks, and all the data that comes together in one location so it's not segmented out? Because that would do exactly what Pegeen is talking about. You can summarize all the information without saying, my last speech I think I did was for comments, the dental group. And so I can only get that information. It does give me my 1,188 people that have heard me speak, but I can't segment that out with the entirety of it. So I think that would be one thing to, as we're talking about this Talkadot and AI, it might be a benefit.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm so glad that you brought that up. That is something that we're actually optimizing right now on the back end. So okay, hold on, wait. Let me see if I can see Pokin's face. Hold on. Can I talk about it, Pokin?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, all right. So Pokin is our product genius, right? So for those of you who see Pokin on any sessions that we do, know that ChatGPT is modeled off of Pokin's mind. So her mind is moving faster than any of us possibly can think, and she's creating things. So here's one of the things that we are currently in the process of making. And one of the things that we constantly want to do is make something that's really, really, really good. So the amount of effort that gets put in, even to the smallest thing, just know it is an incredible amount on the back end. So what we're currently working on as we speak is what's going to be called your profile. You're going to be able to get a talkadot.com/John, right? Or /John register. And on that, we'll have the aggregate data of all of your speaking engagements and all of them. So instead of sending one report or two reports or three reports, you can just send that one URL and you'll be able to get the aggregate quantitative data of everything and all of the qualitative data. So if I want to dive into what'd you do on this one, what'd you do on this one as a potential client, I can. And then you'll be able to use that in things like ChatGPT. So it'll be all in one place. So then, and then like our, okay, I don't know if I'm giving away too much. So Poker, feel free to reel me back. But then the other thing that we want to do is allow you to be able to embed that onto, say, your website, for example. So as your data comes in, it'll automatically update as a widget for you automatically so that you can send people to like your web page or on your homepage. It'll always have that data populating as it comes in. So you don't have to manually go into the back end of your WordPress and update it every single time you have a new talk. So that way you can show your data and show your effectiveness up front. And as you were saying, Pegeen, is that people want to see proof, and most speakers, they're not collecting it, they're not surfacing. So simply by surfacing it, you're miles ahead. So that's something that it's not ready. So we're not announcing that today, but that is something that we're actually actively working on the back end. So,
Yeah, so I guess this is the sneak peek for being part of the town hall, and we really appreciate your feedback on this, like things around like what ChatGPT is doing. Like our vision is how can we take the grunt work part of speaking away so that you can focus on the enjoyable parts of being on stage, and we can help build that proof case in as seamless a way as possible for you to show your hosts.
Love it. Is there a way I was just trying to put in my YouTube channel, and it requires the long extension, not, I own my name of, Pegeen, that's a YouTube channel, but it wasn't allowing me to just put Pegeen. And so I have this, all the characters that go after, so that shows up on YouTube. And so when they receive that, I don't want them to receive, YouTube channel /UTTT credit. I want them to see youtube.com/Pegeen, which is the channel.
Yeah, absolutely. I know like when we first built Talkadot, we didn't realize there were all these different formats. If you just send us a note down the line, what we'd love to do is actually just have a button that goes over, like find a way for you to connect it. But in the meantime, like I know there are a few different formats, same thing for LinkedIn. So if you see that it's not quite showing up right for you, just send us a note, hello@Talkadot, and we'll figure out a way to fix that.
Awesome.
yeah. Okay, cool. This is very exciting. All right, let's jump in. This was the best. I don't know what to call this. Side path. I don't know. I can't think of the word. Anyway, this was fantastic. Thank you, John. You are a legend. If anyone does not know who John Register is, you're doing yourself a disservice. You should. Absolute legend in our industry, and constantly is just constantly impressed by the content you put out and the way your mind works. So thank you very much. So couple of things that we want to announce. So one of the things.
Oh, and I guess very quickly, because they're all
Yeah,
asking.
go ahead, Pokin. Go ahead, do it.
Sneak
Okay,
of
for
where
the
we're
record,
going.
Pokin never shows this stuff. Pokin never. Y'all about to see stuff we never. Okay, Pokin. I just want y'all to acknowledge Pokin never shows this stuff to the public. Y'all getting some very. Go ahead, Pokin.
I guess no, I mean, just in terms of an idea of the direction we're working towards, like we want to get to the point where you'll at a glance, like see your aggregate stats. And we know some things that are important from talking to event planners is like, how are you equally versatile across virtual presentations versus in person? Like in aggregate, how many people want to see you? And then so it'll just be your top line profile, go to your username so you can share that easily. And then like a breakdown of your engagement.
So can you, as you're creating this, can you do that top line only? So that would be like an awesome piece of information that in the future we could put on our websites, not all the list of the speaking, but just that top line that's just live, constantly live every time we do a speech showing up. That would be.
Yeah, there's a couple ideas and versions we're working on. So all of the back end work is coming in, and our hope is to be able to support exactly like the way you have a LinkedIn profile badge. We want to be able to allow you to do the same thing with like your latest stats on your page. And we are actively working on it. So hard to say exactly in the software development world when things are ready, but it is what we're actively working on.
Hey, Ann, did you have a question?
Yes, and also, is it possible to isolate the testimonial pages so that you can like post them on LinkedIn as separate?
When you say isolated, is it individual testimonials or just the testimonial portion?
The tablet, so you have a page with all the testimonials, and a second page with all the testimonials. Can I just take that and post it someplace instead of sending a link with everything on it? Yeah. So if you can
yeah, let me just click.
If we go to testimonials.
Yeah. So this part here.
Yes, this thing.
Mm-hmm. So you're saying. So what you can do is, so you can click here and then do download shareable testimonial and grab one and put click to download and share that. So that functionality.
But you can't do the whole page, right?
Not just like so you would have to share so you'd have to go share report, copy report link. And then what happens with copy report link. So if anyone doesn't know, this is an important feature to be aware of. Right now, this is the back end view. So if I click here and click view testimonial data, I can see the contact information of who said what for each one of the testimonials, and I can share the report and download them. If I share just the report link, and let me open up an incognito browser. and hit paste, you get a public view of your report. The public view doesn't have the download and share feature, and it doesn't have the ability for people to see their contact information. So by sharing this link, you can do that, but you would still share the quantitative data in addition to the qualitative data. Does that
So
solve
there's
the
no
problem?
plan, there's no plan to isolate all the testimonials.
No, so let me dive into it. This is helpful because this is one of the reasons we do these town halls, by the way, because we're trying to understand what the use case is so we can build stuff you'd like. So is it that you just want to send someone a list of the testimonials only? Is that it?
Yes, yes.
Okay. How would you use that? Tell me what the use case of that would
Well,
be.
social media post, you know, I had a great session at this company where I just spoke. This was the feedback or something like that.
Okay.
And maybe Aurel, if you can show again the favoriting feature, I just want to make sure because Aurel was showing you what it looks like to just send
Oh,
one
yeah.
feature. But like if you log into your own account, you should see we have added the little the ability for you to star certain testimonials. And depending on what you star and what fits, it creates. And part of why we limited it to like 2 or 3 is so that it fits in most social media shareable formats.
Okay.
I'll let Aurel show you what that is.
Yeah, so let's say, for example, you just did this speaking engagement. So this is a talk I did last month on a DEI, right? So let's say I got some fire testimonials. Let me unclick these here so you can see how this feature works, okay? So right now, all of your testimonials load up by quantity, so how long they are. But let's say this one isn't the best testimonial and this one's super dope. I can go ahead and click the star. So just notice it says awesome, makes you think interactions with coworkers. I click that star and now it shoots it over to the top. So what I can do is start clicking here and favoriting the ones that I want to have show up. If you wanted to right now, you could, as an example, put all your hot fire ones on the top, right? You know, however you want to do it. I'm just going to do a whole bunch of them here, right? And then you could either do a little screenshot, blah, blah, and do it like that. Or you can then share your report link. And when you share it, all of your hot fire ones show up on top. And then if you do share the link, people can click view all and then scroll down and still see all of them. But you'll notice the ones that are blue are the ones that you started and put on top. Does that help you achieve what you want to do, at least for now, or is there still something missing for you?
And Aurel, if you want to pop over, you know how the testimonials, like we'll readjust like this, the testimonial share also, the little pop-up based on the ones you
I
start.
want to see that.
Oh yeah, so when you log into your account, if you go onto your report page, any one of these testimonials will have 3 dots on the upper right-hand corner. If you click on those 3 dots, you can do 2 functions. The first one is view testimonial data. So if someone gave you their contact, who said this about me? I want to hear what they said and how they rated me. I can click and see that. And if I want to download it, I hit download shareable testimonial, and then bam, I get this automatically generated, and I can click and add that to my Facebook story and say like, here's what some people are saying about me. So you can do that right now.
And if you go Aurel to the top, what also happens is
this. So if you hit download,
it will be the top 3. So if you have specific ones you want to create one of these images for, just like star the ones you want, and it's limited by space. And so if you do 5, it'll just be like the 5 longest ones. But if you play around, you're like, okay, there's 2 to 3 in sequence, just star the ones you want, create it at the top of that link, and then you can create the testimonial shares as you need.
Okay, can you just do that one more time? Download things. Those are the ones you starred, and then it creates this social media post.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go over this one more time because I want to make sure you guys get it. Because sometimes I'm so deep in the water, I forget. So this is important. I like to show these things. So when you go to any report, there's 2 different ways you can share your testimonials. Okay, the first is on the share this report. This feature here at the top right, and you put download testimonial, it will pull the first 3 testimonials that you have in the upper left-hand corner.
Or whatever fits.
Or whatever fits. If it's a super long testimonial, it won't. So these 3 will show up. So you can post these 3, but maybe you don't want to post these 3. Maybe you want to post, so I'm going to unstar these on my account. Oops. Maybe I want to take these three right here. So I would just click the star, click the star, click the star. And then when I go up to share this report and download testimonials, now those testimonials are right there. However,
Bam.
oh, go ahead, go ahead.
I just said bam.
Bam. Yeah, there you go. So now I can go, yo, I just had this great talk. Check out what some of these people had to say. This session was beneficial and essential. Need to better understand why people are the way that they are. Bam. But like if I got like this one, right?
Oh, right now, we don't pull from the attendee feedback section. So that's actually a question we have to check.
Oh,
We
okay.
split it out because I know attendee feedback sometimes was less relevant. And we've heard feedback both ways now that there's actually some good ones in the bottom section.
Yeah, so anyway, let me borrow one where I know I probably got like a little bit more. Yeah, this one was probably pretty good. So let's say you got a long one. Oh Lord, I don't have a long. Hold on. Where is someone? Where are people like, yo, Arel's the greatest speaker in the whole wide world next to John Register. He's better than Arel. Everyone knows that. But other than him, he's so great. Okay, yeah, okay, cool. So this one, right, is a long one. So if I click here and then download shareable data, it's so long that only one will fit on that. So if I star this one and then star this one and then star that one, if I go up to the top and put share this report, it's gonna only fit 2 of them because there's just not enough physical space. If you remember, the other one fit 3. So a lot of it has to do with how long the testimonials are. So if you want to like stack a couple of like bangers, you can. And if you just want to share one, you can as well. Diane, question.
So I think you answered my question. Instead of being able to take all of the testimonials for a social media post, you can get 3. And if you wanted to get all of them, you could download 3. You could just change your favorites. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
100% correct. Yeah. And if you wanted to, right, you could just take a screenshot of this section. It's not as elegant, but it could still accomplish maybe the goal that you wanted to do, at least with what we currently have available.
Okay. Thanks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, the other thing, when you were showing who said which quote, can you also find out who said, I'd like her to come and speak at my organization?
Yes. So if you go over to this My Leads section and you click My Leads in the upper right-hand corner, this is going to segment out everyone who filled out your survey and said, I book speakers and I want to book you. The referrals are all the people who said, I don't book speakers, but I can refer you to someone who can. And the email opt-ins is your email list. These are all the people that gave you their email so you can grow your email list, which we don't typically do a great job of. And then you can download all of these as a CSV file. So if you use HubSpot or MailChimp or whatever CRM or email software you use, you can upload it into there and have it sent out and reach out to people that way as well.
And if you want to know more information about a specific response, like if you see the little arrow, you can click down on any of them and it gives you specifically what that person says. So you have more context of how to reach them. And we assume you have a better CRM to work off of, but if you're trying to manage everything in this list, then you can also manage it by like marking if you've contacted someone to know, okay, well, who have I followed up with? Archive moves them out of this first list into the archive just to clean up your first column. So there's a few other features in here you can play with.
Exactly. These are good. These are great questions. These are great questions. Thank you, Anand. John, what's up, brother?
I was going to add into what Diane was talking about, and that is think about what we just talked about with ChatGPT, which Begin brought up. Copy all of that text and throw it into ChatGPT with whatever prompt that you want to give it and play around with that, because it will sort, it will take it and put it out, and then you could actually upload it. You can, I know there's a way to just take all that information and just throw it right to your Twitter account or whatever account that you want to share. So it'll segment that all out for you. So that could be a workaround for that. I think there was another thing I wanted to share in that too. Oh, the single words. So at the bottom, I just did this the other day, where, you know, the person that doesn't give you a whole lot of stuff, but they just give you, hey, that was inspiring, that was motivating, whatever, the one word, you can take that, put that into a word cloud. So now you have another graphic that you can actually show up there, that word cloud that comes from the testimonials from people just gave you. And the last thing that Pokin was just showing and Aurel was talking about is what I do is with the leads for both of them, like Pokin just said, you have that click that down arrow. I make a bomb video for each one of those. So I'm reaching out right away, right after when they're fresh and hot. And right when I get back to my hotel room, I just sit down and I create one and I use that as my script. I'm going to start taking that script now and then putting it into ChatGPT to the prompts that I want to actually write, so I can be even more specific with that next reach out to them.
So John Register doesn't know this, but he's just volunteered to do a Talkadot training for everyone on ChatGPT usage. So we will get that organized and set up. Thank you for volunteering, John. You're so kind.
Thank you, John.
Well, I appreciate that, Arel, and you know, we'll talk about for how we're going to do this going forward.
Yeah, but no, you're dropping some gems, so I just want to say thank you. I mean, it's blowing my mind. So thank you.
Hey, I have a quick question.
Yes, who said that?
Daniel. Well, it says Soraya, but this is Daniel. I apologize.
Oh, okay. What's up, Daniel?
I came in a little bit late, so I apologize for being late to the town hall. But there's been a couple of references for Chat GPT, and I put it in the text thread or the thread, but I don't think anyone saw it. What exactly is Chat GPT, and how are we incorporating that with Talkadot?
So
And I
guys,
apologize for us
No,
having
totally
to go
fine.
back.
For anyone who's not heard of ChatGPT, I just want you to know we are currently living in the future. Whatever you thought was the future, you have no idea. So ChatGPT is artificial intelligence. You can literally ask it to do anything. So I can say, for example, write a presentation description on why Daniel is the best speaker on this topic, and use these testimonials, and you can copy them and paste them into a box. And then ChatGPT, like a freaking, I don't know, alien robot, will write your presentation description for you. So you can pretty much ask it to do any prompt, and then it will generate and write text for you. The skill of ChatGPT is going to be how you ask the prompt. You can say things like, write a presentation description based upon my testimonials about student leadership. Then you can say, now write it in a tone that shows it's energetic but still professional. And then it'll regenerate a new option for you. Now I want you to do it utilizing sales copy language and throw in some humor. So it's just, it's hard to explain in words how powerful it is, but basically it will allow you to write things that normally might take you 4 or 5 hours in 4 or 5 minutes. It's crazy. Yeah,
Thank
so
you.
just type in Chat GPT, Open AI. I think someone posted the link in the group. It'll pop up. You may go to it and it'll say it's not available because too many people are using it. They got my money. I'm paying them $20 a month because they got me. Okay, so they may say, "Oh, you want to use it? $20," and then you pay because it's that powerful and it's all day, every day. Now, will it take over the world one day? Are we bringing on the Armageddon? All debatable. I don't know. Maybe. Stan Tall, you had a question as well.
Hey, thanks so much. Yeah, early on there was a talk about some email templates for once you have people that are interested in hiring you. There's a set of email templates. Where is that? And
can you drop your email in, or if you want to email Mike at Talkadot.com, Mike will shoot that over to you. It's not in, like, you can't log in and Talkadot and get it. It's just a resource we put together for you. So if you want to shoot an email to Mike at Talkadot, say, send me those emails, Mike will get you the link. Or if I know Mike, he's probably getting it to you right now and it's already in your inbox. So FYI.
all right.
Yeah, that's
And what about the speaker flow integration?
yes.
How does that work?
Okay, great question. So for those of you who have speaker flow, all you have to do, let me just move my videos in Windows. This new apps thing that Zoom does blocks my windows whenever, and I hate it. It's like apps, anyway. So you go to your settings right here, and if you scroll down to your settings, do you have a pro account yet by chance? You do. Okay, great. So you have a pro account. This feature is turned on. This is only a feature for pro users. This is a link. If you go to Taylor or Austin or anyone from SpeakerFlow, they'll show you how to get your link. And then they actually will help set up all of your automations for you. So what will happen is you get this link, you paste it into here, and then you turn it on. Then what will happen is as leads come into this area right here, it'll automatically add everyone into your CRM, send them emails, tag them, move them over to leads, get them scheduled. It's a pretty powerful tool, SpeakerFlow. So our integration allows as leads to come in for basically the automation that SpeakerFlow has to kick in. So you just don't have to manually do that step. I'm pretty sure that if SpeakerFlow will show you how to set it up yourself. If you want SpeakerFlow to set it up for you and so it works, I think it's like $99 for them to do it. That's through them. That's not through us. We just do the integration. But we love SpeakerFlow. We love those guys. They're building something really special. So we're happy to integrate with them just to build in some more automation so you can do a little bit less work, but get better results, which is the key. Steven,
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome, brother. Steven, I know you had a question and you popped off, so happy to see you back.
Yeah, my audio was not rocking with me, so I had to jump off.
Can we all acknowledge Stephen Hughes? His locks is just so marvelous, man. Golly, they're just so perfectly twisted. I just want to acknowledge him before you go into your professional. I just have to fanboy over the perfection of your locks. That's it. Okay, go ahead.
No, I appreciate that. I mean, it's Black History Month. I mean, let you borrow some of the money.
Yo, I need some. Listen, I got none.
No, I got you. You're doing well on this part though.
Trying, man. It's hard.
Nah,
I can't connect it, so it's all bad.
There it is. But you got what you got.
It's all right here. That's all I got.
Yo, nevertheless, so I'm on Talkadot. I'm preparing for a talk that I have tomorrow morning. And two questions. One, I just saw what you did on the email opt-ins. I've been trash on transferring the email opt-ins and Talkadot to my actual email list. I would like to get better at that in 2023. And so when you click the box though, on the email opt-ins list, do I just need to go through every window and click the box to keep selecting the 25?
No. If you click right here, download CSV file, it'll download all of them for you. You don't have to do select all and then do that. If you hit the download the CSV file thing, it'll download. And then what you can do is once the whole thing downloads, you can just copy just this presentation or just that presentation. I've tend to find, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, this will make your life a lot easier. As soon as the booking link comes in, you just highlight it and copy it, or you just click on it to send the email if you have like your email account set up, and just literally be like, yo, thanks so much for attending my talk. I saw that you wanted to book me to speak. You want to set up a time to speak? Here's my URL. Like, that is infinitely better than not sending an email because you're trying to get it right? And odds are, and what I found, and this is a good best practice for everyone, if you wait like 3 months and then email people, they'll still remember you, but it's just way less, right? So if you literally because remember, if they just saw you speak, their emotional high on you is at its premium. So you can send an email, yo, I saw you just filled it out. I wanted to reach out right away. Let me know if you want to meet. Bam. One of the things that I have been doing, which has been helpful, is I've been also qualifying in that first email, which is really helpful. So in that first email, we'll say, yo, thanks so much for reaching out. Did you have something that you wanted to book in the next 6 months? Or is it something later than that? So I pose it as a question, like a real quick thing. And if it's helpful, we can I'm constantly testing and changing new things. So happy to share that. But I found that by qualifying, is there something you want to book within the next 6 months or something later? If they say within the next 6 months, well, we got to jump on the call right away. If it's, oh, it's later, or, oh man, I'm not sure. I just got so hyped because your locks were so marvelous. I just wanted to be around you more. I don't actually have anything. You'd be like, I understand. That's how most people are. You should see what happens when I smile and I throw up the Q dog sign. It's a wrap, right? So, that stuff will happen. So I find a quick email that has a little bit of a qualification in it is also helpful to make sure you're like following up with the right people.
For sure. No, I like that. Root to the bros in the room. And then when it comes to, so I'm with you on all that. When it comes to booking, I'm really good at following up. On the email opt-ins list, though, you know how you have like 2022 email opt-ins? That's the list that I haven't been adding to like
Got
my
it.
mail.
Do you have a newsletter that you send out?
I do not.
Right. So that's the function of it. If you
For
don't
sure.
have an email newsletter, you don't really have anything that you're uploading them to. So that's why they're just kind of sitting there, right? So, if you're writing a monthly email newsletter, if you're like, yo, here, Stephen does a lot of things about financials, financial mindset and money management, lots of great stuff. So one of the things that you may encourage yourself to do is to come up with a newsletter. One of the reasons lots of people don't do newsletters is because they're like, when am I going to send it to 5 people? Like it's my mom, my friend, and my sister. Like, golly, right? So what's great about this is all these people have seen you speak. So they're just a little bit more warm to you. So it could be the encouragement you need to do a monthly newsletter and or maybe take some of your previous content and repurpose it, because you've put out some really great Facebook content. Like I've seen some of your videos, high quality production. Maybe you just repurpose them into a newsletter, and now you have people to start sending it to.
No, I love that. A newsletter is on the table for Q2. It's going to be called Sunday Paper, and we'll be talking about money in there. But then I'll finally be able to use these damn email opt-ins. This will be perfect. Last question that I have is, when we're on the homepage after you log in for the offers, is there a way that I can duplicate an offer so I don't have to find the file, upload it, change the word for the specific conference?
Yeah, great question.
All that fun stuff. Is there a way to
Great
duplicate it?
So right now, no, but that's the first time anyone's ever asked for that either. So that's actually a really interesting use case. So we will pencil it into the roadmap. I'm not sure where we're gonna, because that's the first time anyone's ever asked for that ever. So super helpful, but no, no one ever asked for it. So we'll find a way.
Solid. I use this my affirmations as the takeaway from a lot of the talks that I do, and I realized that. So out of all of these codes, there's only one of them that doesn't have my affirmation. And so that'll be super helpful going down the road.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So here's what I want to do. Let me pause, because this town hall went in a fantastically beautiful direction, but there are things we wanted to announce and update. So allow me to do those updates, and I'm going to go through them, I guess, a little bit quickly, because I want to be respectful to the top of the hour, and then we'll try to get as much in, because I know, Pokin, you had some questions you wanted to ask as well. So I really appreciate y'all. Okay, let me pull up my thing here. Okay, couple of quick updates. We've done a lot of updates on the back end that you're not gonna see them. They're not gonna make any sense to you. They're gonna be little fixes, little. Every time you do programming, for anyone who's never built software, which like this is a new endeavor for me, there's lots of programming that needs to be done to make sure everything works and goes really, really well. So we've been working a lot on that. So you may be like, what is that? Just know things are gonna work more smoothly and faster for you. One of the things that we added is this 6-step checklist on your homepage. When you log in now, if you have not done one of these 6 steps, you're going to see it unchecked just like this. Once you check it, it will then pull up a video, which is me kind of walking through a general how do you use Talkadot. So what I encourage all of you to do is, when you log into your Talkadot account, if you see this checklist and anything is unchecked, go ahead and do that. So if you have to watch a video, you can just click watch a video. The video will pop up right here for you, and then you can watch it. If you know how to add your social media handle, just click on it and then click off and it'll pop up. But this is for you to make sure that you're maximizing all the usage of your Talkadot account. So that's something that's set up for you right now. That's just a little bit new. We've also optimized the registration process. So again, that's something that, like, if you already have an account, like you're like, that's not really necessarily helpful for me, but we've been trying to make it easier for people to come in. The other thing that we added for you is this is now anchored. So what that means is when you scroll, like I have 27 different offers. I don't know if I should be proud of that or embarrassed, but I have 27 different things that I tested to give away. So you can now scroll here, And I have a whole bunch of presentations here. Before it was one long page. Now the header here just anchors, right here. So you can scroll down and get track of all that. So it's just simple things that we added to make the user experience a little bit better. So just wanted to add that and bring that to your attention. Also, your referral code. This is something lots of folks have been asking us about. So I want to tell you about 2 things that are going to make your life way easier. Right now we are, let me just grab where is it? There it is. Wait, bow, bow, bow. Hold on. Bow. Boom. And throw it in.
Is that Talkadot come with those sound effects?
I wish it did. I do
Me
it.
too.
It's always like a weird thing I do and I don't realize I do it. And you know what? Now, moving forward, when you do things on Talkadot, it's gonna be like bam, boom, dig it. Okay, so I just put it in the chat function there. A lot of folks have been asking about the referral program. How do I do it? How do we sign up for it? We are building out the integration, so this is going to be a little bit better UX experience for you. But what you can do right now as a rule of thumb, if you look in the chat, my username is Arel. So my referral code will be based upon what you just saw. Hold on. Type it in my name. Arel. So if you just put in app.talkadot.com/refer via equals, which is the code we use in the back end, what that does is if you want to tell people about Talkadot, share that link with them. When they register for Talkadot on that link, if they upgrade, they get a discount and you get a little something for upgrading them. So that's your referral link. So it benefits us because we get them on our site, which makes us happy. It benefits you because you get a little bit of money, and it benefits them because they pay less than the average fee. So everybody wins in this transaction.
Do we do it with a capital?
Is it
I
case
think it's
sensitive?
fine, just so long as like whatever your user profile name is. And we're going to make it so that you can see it in your homepage eventually. And I know Mike sent an email out to everyone for it, but just wanted to remind you again, in case you're on the fly, it's that link in your username.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we'll get that up to you and we'll service it. But lots of people are saying, hey, I want to refer people. How do I sign up? This way, it, as Pokin like said, it auto-magically does everything in the back end. So it gives them, and it also upgrades them to Pro for 30 days, which is also a benefit only for our users to give out to other people. So they get 30 days of Pro for free. If they register, they get the discount. If they don't go to Pro, it goes back to the Lite account, but they don't lose anything. So it's just a little nice bonus to get them to try out all the features and benefits of it. And all of that auto-magically happens if you use that link, which we will surface up for you. So if any of you have folks that you want to register, whatever your username is, so if it's talk.ac/Mimi Brown, then you would just replace the capital letters of your username and put in Mimi Brown and share that link with people and they can register and all of that fun stuff will show up. So super.
Yeah, but you can use mine anytime you want to refer someone because I got my
anyone wants to use
referral.
Mimi Brown's link and
I'm okay with that.
Credit. She's, Mimi tells people how to get sales. So she's like, listen, if you want to give me free sales, I'm going to take it. So shout out to y'all. Okay, cool. And then also, I'm going to put a link in the chat right here. That is our Google Calendar. We have set up all of our cool town halls and trainings that are just for you. That's not for the public. If you would like to add our calendar to your Google Calendar, the benefit of doing that is all of the trainings, like when John Register does our Chat GPT AI training that he didn't know he signed up for, and if he'd be so kind, we'd be so grateful if he did it. Training, instead of us having to send an email to you, it'll show up in your calendar and you can just have it right then and there and delete it, accept it if you'd like to. But if you accept our calendar, then we won't email you. Some folks have said, hey, we love you guys, cut back on all the emails, and we go, we respect that and we want you to be happier. So this is one of the things that we came up with so that we can keep you aligned with our trainings that we do for you, the content we put together, these town halls, and any other things that we think will be helpful without necessarily hitting you with as many emails as you'd like. So if you'd like to click that and add our calendar, you'd be able to get access to that as well. Pokin, I know we're getting down to the wire here. Questions?
Yes,
Diane,
yeah, you want to do the question first?
Okay, so I just did my first engagement with Talkadot. Now I may be doing the same one for a different group, but in the same company. So do I use the same code and just put it somewhere?
Yeah. Great question. So let me pull up this. So for anyone who's new to Talkadot, one of the benefits of Talkadot is it's one QR code. Let me scroll it. It's one QR code, one link. You never have to change it. So if you have the same offer, so like let's say for me, I'm giving away, the gift one, right? So I can put download, it gets created. I throw it into my slide deck. I forget about it. Because as new presentations come in, our system will automatically separate them for you. So you don't have to change anything. So unlike SurveyMonkey, you'd have to come up with a different SurveyMonkey link every time you wanted to use it. One link, easy peasy lemon squeezy. If you do more than one talk on the same day, the tool will also separate your talks on the same day by the cluster of when the data comes in. So literally insert it. And I think it was a rotisserie chicken cooker. You set it and forget it. I don't know if anyone saw that commercial. If not, that was awkward. And I apologize to everyone.
Yeah, that's a Ronco classic. What you mean?
Oh, Ronco, there we go. Ronco. That's who it was. It was Ronco. Set it and forget it. That was good. Pokin, I know I'm speaking. I've been speaking fast all day because I've been on all these cool Zooms. Pokin, did you want to ask some questions before we open it up, because we want to be respectful of people's hour?
Sure. Yeah, no, more of a last heads up. This has been helpful. Appreciate the feedback as you guys have been sharing it as always. And even between these town hall sessions, feel free to, where to find us on Facebook at Hello at Talkadot. One of the pieces of feedback, and I don't know where this feedback is coming from, but one of the pieces of feedback we got is how to find other speakers, as you're referring back and forth. We've been hey, I saw some posts Sarah brought up, she's been referring people as they've been coming in on different topics. And so one of the things we're working on is actually capturing what topics you speak on. And I will kind of kick that off at the beginning of this talk saying, hey, what do you speak on? And so watch for it. We'll probably be finding a way to ask you those questions so that we can keep track of these lists and potentially surface it when appropriate. So just a heads up that we'll be asking you questions around topics and subjects, and would love your feedback on the right kind of ways to classify that as well.
Okay, how many people, do me a favor, in the chat, write me if we did a session on AI, ChatGPT, and Talkadot use cases that would be of interest to you. Put me in the chat. If you're I don't care about AI, I only care about Allen Iverson. Anyone? No? AI. Allen. Okay. Mimi says boo. Allen Iverson. Okay. Hey, that's the AI I care about. Okay, so this is clearly a topic we're going to cover. Wonderful. Diane, did you have another question? I see your hands up. No? Okay, Laura. Other questions? We can do rapid fire and try to get them in 3 minutes. If you want to unmute and ask, please do so. We talking about practice. Yes, Kobe. We talking about practice.
Quick question.
Yes.
Earlier when I think his name was Stephen Dreadlock Q, I think his name was Stephen. Is that correct? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. When he was speaking, he mentioned a newsletter, and I put the question in the chat, and I asked, would you recommend utilizing Chat GPT to create the newsletter so he doesn't have to add something additional to his workload? And I just want to say, I took immediate action. I already have Chat GPT, and I'm using it right now. It's amazing. Okay, so
Daniel
you should
just wrote
definitely
his
do
newsletter
that.
on our town hall because Chat GPT. That's amazing. That's so cool, dude. That's so cool.
It's amazing. I just wrote an email. I just wrote an article is already written for, I'm a mental health speaker. An article is already written for mental health that I can create a series. And I already have an email that's created that I could actually send out to principals and colleges as well. Stephen, do that.
Yo, so Steven, this is really great, right? So you could go to ChatGPT and say, hey, I want you to write an article on, 5 ways to be more mindful about your money in 2023 utilizing this idea. And then ChatGPT could write it for you. Then you can write it now so you're a little bit more smooth and everything rhymes like your Music Soul Child in 1999. And then it'll do it in the vein of Music Soul Child, and then you can send it out. So that actually, honestly, I didn't even think about doing that myself. Golly, I'm learning so much right now. I think my newsletter is now going to be ChatGPT created. It's not always perfect. Allison is correct. It is, you can't just do it and move on.
Not always accurate because it's based on the internet. It just scraped everything from the internet, and we know what it means when we say, oh, it's on the internet. So it's a great tool, but it has to have a human responsible for the output of the content. It's a great tool.
Remember in like 1998 when people were just downloading Wikipedia pages and handing them in as book reports? That would be the equivalent of just downloading a ChatGPT response and posting it. It would be the same thing. It's like good enough, but it's really only 95% of the way there. So really great point, Allison.
So I know somebody that's intimately involved with the Google chat, and there are 3 suggestions that they have given me. One is they remember everything that you post, that you ask questions about. So the more information you could put about yourself, your resume, your bio, your anything about your book. So you just write, tell me more about this, but you add all of that content in to the question. Then your chat starts learning about you and learning how you write. So if you put blog post, for instance, how can you improve my blog post? And you put a blog post that you personally have written. The chat starts learning how you speak and how you communicate and starts then modifying the language. The second security thing is, of course, everything you're putting in is being memorized on the chat. And so, just remember that just like in every computer, every code, whatever you put in is what you're going to receive out. So if you're putting in positivity and you're putting in interesting, you're going to receive that. If you're going to put in your own essence, you're going to receive that back. So just be aware. That's going to be, I personally know that one day there'll probably be an R2D2 and it's going to have my personality and it's going to be following me around and annoying me to death. I'm very clear about that. So that's what I'm programming my GPT for.
Yeah.
And also, I was warned that you have to be careful because it's pulling from the internet, so it doesn't mean everything is copyright free. So you do have to be careful of that.
Yeah, one of the things I would recommend is throw it into ChatGPT and then like edit it. It gives you a starting point, but you still want to, I still as a human edit it to make sure it's accurate or it feels like it's in my voice. So it's a very, very powerful tool. But also like, I don't know if this is true. I wouldn't log in with your Gmail account personally. I just create if you want to be really safe, maybe create a dummy one. My assumption is that once you log in with your Google, they just know everything about you. And I like everything, because if they go into Google, they know your Google Maps, they know your Google. I mean, I don't know if that's true. I'm getting a little conspiracy theorist. Let me step off my soapbox. I don't know if any of that's true. Just stay safe.
The other thing that I was going to mention about ChatGPT is that I love the prompt that you gave. But if you give it a prompt, like for instance, if I say, hey, ChatGPT, I want you to act like you're a financial therapist who is an expert in financial wellness, and then give it the prompt, then it will speak from a lens or provide information from a lens that it is a financial therapist. So if you do want to kind of get a little more clarity on like what it's going to write to you and not drop a whole letter or blog post or anything else like that in there, you can give it a prompt that they are like your role, and so it'll write like that.
You can say things like, as a copywriter who uses Dan Kennedy's copywriting technique, write a sales letter to accomplish X. As a therapist, what advice would you give to someone who feels like they can't make their dream? So you can say, as this blank, and then have it do it, which is nuts. I mean, it's nuts. Lynn, you had your hand up and I think it went down, and I just want to be respectful to the fact that you had it.
Yeah, no, I was just wanting to warn people about just taking GPT and doing newsletters, because unless your topic is really narrow, someone else has probably taken it, and you could be plagiarizing and really hurting your credibility.
Or what you can do, what I did when I was in college, and just go to thesaurus.com and change out every 3 words so it's a thesaurus word. And that's how I graduated from undergrad. And I'm not proud of it, but that's what it did. There's ways to break the system. Yeah. Listen, I don't know how we got here, but here we are. Thank you so much. Now you know how I got through my undergraduate. Don't tell them, because I'm a distinguished alumni. They're very proud of me. but I did some things to get through. We are constantly trying to improve. These are actually super fun. This was super fun. We probably should do more of these. And anytime I can see, you know, Allison and John in the same place and see Nick. Nick, I was at a speaking engagement for 3 days, and I think I saw you text me. I'm gonna get back to you today. I've been on Zooms all day. I'm not ignoring you, but I will get back to you because I know you sent me a message. Just super helpful. So I know we're over on time. Is anyone going to the NSA Winter Conference out of curiosity? I think John said it. They will be using Talkadot, which is going to be very exciting. So if anyone goes to the NSA proper, is going to be using Talkadot for the whole conference for all their speakers. So we're super excited about that, and getting some great feedback for them and usefulness. So please continue to tell people about Talkadot. The more speakers we have using it, the more we create an industry standard of excellence, and the more we get this incredible group think that we have here. So super helpful. John, I will reach out to you because I don't even know if you are available. You're probably like speaking in like Malaysia for the next 3 months, but we'll figure out something if it works. And I'll be at Influence for sure. So if anyone is unfamiliar with NSA, the National Speakers Association, or unfamiliar with Influence, fantastic group of incredible folks, incredible speakers. So definitely, if you're not going to make it to the winter conference, I would highly recommend considering joining the summer conference, which is Influence, which is their biggest event, which is pretty cool. So with that said, thank you. I'll give you the one line that I recently learned. If anybody wants to use this as a speaker, I thought this was a good line and I liked it. I went to this event and there was a speaker and he said, "My job is to speak and your job is to listen. I hope I finish my job before you finish yours." I thought that was hilarious. And I hope I finished my job before you finished yours, listening with us today. And with all this great content, hopefully it was helpful. So have a wonderful day. Happy Valentine's Day to those who celebrated. And if you didn't have a Valentine, Mike will be a Valentine. He's very loving, very caring. He'll respond to your emails super fast. If you need someone to respond to you, Mike will. So he'll listen. All right, I'll talk to y'all later.
Definitely
Thank
feeling the
you.
love of the Talkadot team. Appreciate y'all.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.